He better go crazy. Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say that shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business, ain't no money.
Go ahead.
You too. What's good, guys? I'm into the kid with a goofball, guys.
All right. Thank you. All right, go after the mama. What's going on, guys? My son wanted to do the intro, so I let him do the intro today. So as you know, as we always do, YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on 10 running backs that you must start in week 17. I said what I said in week 17. It's your championship run, guys. So I want you to feel comfortable about starting these 10 running backs. Now, these are some obvious guys. These are some guys that are a little bit lower, some RB2 guys, maybe even some flex guys, just depending on your team and your league format. but I believe that you should trust these guys. Now, listen, you don't have to start them. If you got better bell cows, then you start the other guys. But if you have these guys and you need to go to the waivers for certain guys, you don't know if you should start them, I believe these guys are okay starting. So, guys, make sure you spam the chat. Let me know that you're here. Put the 100 symbol. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you put the 100 symbol. Let me know that you support the channel. Spam it. And you got any questions, guys, I will get to your comments after I read out my 10 running backs. So with no further ado, make sure you hit the like button. Guys, let's get the likes up. We got 20 people in here right now. Let's get the likes up before we even start. I see you, Travis. Yes, sir. So let's begin. The first running back that I believe is a must start in this matchup is against the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns is a good defense now, but I still believe you need to start this guy in your leagues, and it's Breach Hall. Yes, guys, it's Breach Hall. Now, listen, you might say, well, it's a bad matchup. Guys, bad matchups don't really matter when you're going when you playing NFL football, because guys, teams change philosophy. Teams coach their guys up. I believe Breach Hall is going to touch the ball at least 25 times. That's how they win games. They won the game last week. Breach Hall touched the ball a lot. Now, the Washington Commanders is different than the Cleveland Browns. I know that's fully different defense. But Breach Hall still going to get the touches. In order to score points, you got to get the touches. So I'm playing any running back that's touching the ball 25 times. At least I'm going to start him as a flex. So I believe that Breach Hall should be a starter for you in week 17 in your championship. Now, listen, if you got 3 studs, like 3 top 12 every week studs, then maybe you don't have to start Breach Hall. But me and my leagues, I don't got any running back on my team that I'm going to bench Breach Hall for. Now, I might have other guys that I'm starting, but I'm not going to bench Breach Hall. That's on my team. If you're in an 8-team league, it could be different. Moving on to my number 2 guy, and this is kind of obvious, but I don't know. I want to let people know, and I've been on this guy the last 4 weeks saying that he was an optimal start every week, no matter what. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. He is the number 1 running back on this team. Now, David Montgomery is still getting touches. David Montgomery can still be started in leagues, but Jahmyr Gibbs is the alpha. So I want to also talk about David Montgomery. This is a slash. This is not a guy on the list, but he is the guy that you can start. He's getting 15 touches a game, and he's also getting goal line work. But the guy who's going to get the big plays and help you win the league is Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery is just a safe play. If you got a bunch of studs in your team, and David Montgomery is on your team, you can start David Montgomery because he's going to give you a safe floor. And then he can also boom because he might get a fall-in touchdown. So I like Jahmyr Gibbs. You started him no matter what. Next is Devon Achane. And this is probably what everybody's been waiting for, is Devon Achane. And I understand that because Devon Achane hasn't had a boom week in 4 or 5 weeks, maybe since the Washington game. To me, it doesn't matter. You got to get Devon Achane in the game at least as a flex play, because you want that boom. You never know what's going to happen. And I love playing studs against tough matchups. What bothers me is when you play them against easy matchups, teams, they tend to take these guys out because they don't want them to get hurt. But they got to win this game. Let me see. Yeah, they got to win this game against the Baltimore Ravens. I was about to say the Cowboys. I was stuck. They got to win this game against the Baltimore Ravens. This is an AFC matchup for the number 1 seed. So Devon Achane, if you ain't going to use him this week, when you going to use him? So I believe this guy is going to get 15 touches, and Raheem Mostert had a little bit of an injury, but he's going to be okay. I love Devon Achane. I'm playing him as a flex play at least. And if he give me 10 points, I'm okay with that. That's my Occam Razum type mentality, what I'm doing with Devon Achane. So moving on, guys, to my number 4 is James Cook. James Cook gave 5 or 6 points? I don't care. I'm starting James Cook as an RB2, in some leagues as an RB1. I'm not going to worry about what he did last week. That's how you miss points. I'm playing James Cook. If James Cook and Devon Achane are my 2 running backs and they dud me, I'm going down with that. I'm not going to feel bad at all. And I'm not going to go to look who scored. Gus Edwards outscored them. I'm not doing that. I'm starting James Cook no matter what. The matchup doesn't matter to me. Next is Bijan Robinson. I'm starting Bijan Robinson. I've been telling y'all Arthur Smith has to start Bijan Robinson or he will lose his job. That's why Bijan Robinson had a good output last week, and I think it's going to get better. They probably won't make the playoffs. They could, But Bijan Robinson is going to get bailed out. Ain't no more saving him. So play Bijan Robinson no matter what. Moving on to my next running back is Travis Etienne. This is something that y'all know y'all looking for. Start Travis Etienne. Don't worry about that pass. Now, you might say, well, Tita, he's been playing bad for 4 weeks. Yeah, but he's got a great matchup, and the quarterback is probably not going to play. And when you get a guy that's getting 20 touches a game, you got to play him sometimes. Sometimes you got to, I like to go. I understand if you wanted to sit Travis Etienne because you can say, well, look, TD, man, 4 weeks, I got this guy. He been doing this. But, guys, when you have a guy like Travis Etienne that you drafted in the 3rd round, you don't want to sit him in a fantasy football championship with 20 touches against a good matchup. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me call this matchup out. Yes. The Carolina Panthers. You can listen, it ain't been a bad running back against the Carolina Panthers the whole season. AJ Dillon ain't scored in 8 weeks and he scored a touchdown. Aaron Jones came back off of injury. Aaron Jones is him. But you find me a bad running back that went against the Carolina Panthers. Pause. You ain't gonna find one. So, guys, I love Travis Etienne. I think you got to start him at least as a flex play. Moving on to my number 7 running back is DeAndre Swift. I said what I said. Yes, DeAndre Swift. And the reason why I like DeAndre Swift, guys, is because I think they're going to try to take away the wide receivers and make DeAndre Swift beat them, and I believe he can do it. I believe he's going to get work against the New York Giants. I don't believe the New York Giants can stop the run. They got a few injuries also, guys. I mean, not the New York Giants. I'm sorry, guys. Forgive me. The Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals are one of the weakest run defenses in the league. So I'm playing DeAndre Swift. I believe he's going to get off. He's at least a flex play. You start him. Don't play matchups with him. Moving on, guys, to CEH from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Isaiah Pacheco is going through a concussion protocol. I don't believe he make it. CEH is probably going to be a guy that they use this week and throughout the playoffs because they need to take some pressure off Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I believe CEH could be a great playoff running back. I've seen it several years of watching football where guys struggle kind of all year, maybe get their position took, and then all of a sudden the last 2 games of the season, they have really good games. And then the team said, you know what, we're going to run through you. And this guy ended up being a playoff winner for him. He ended up being like a playoff MVP. I believe the CEH could be that. Guys, I like the way his body looked. Pause. He looks more like he's been in the weight room this year. He's not as quick as he was, but he can take that pounding. Pause. So I like CEH guys to play this week, no matter if Isaiah Pacheco even play, because the main reason is Jerick McKinnon is out on IR and won't be coming back unless they go into a deep playoff run. All right, guys. Number 9 is Gus Edwards. Yes, guys, Gus Edwards. Now, listen, they playing the Miami Dolphins. The way you beat the Miami Dolphins is up the middle. Pause. They cannot stop the run game. So that's how they weak against the run. They want you to run the balls. That way they up on you. You can't run the ball anymore. So I believe Baltimore is going to be able to keep up with them, and they're going to always be running the ball with Gus Edwards because they're going to be scared of Lamar. And also just they're going to want Gus Edwards to beat them. They don't want Lamar to start scrambling and making big plays, 30 points, 40 points. They said, well, give it to Gus Edwards and let him chop it up for 6-7 yards a play. So I like playing that. And when they get to the goal line, Gus Edwards is one of the first options with Keith Mitchell being out. Justice Hills is getting some carries, but he's not getting the honey touches, which is around the 5-yard line, the green zone. And last but not least, guys, a guy that got a tough matchup is James Conner, and he's playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. But remember, he killed the San Francisco 49ers. He ate them up. Pause. So I believe that James Conner is kind of matchup proof. The way this team is built, they are a spread team. So you got to stop Kyler Murray from running around trying to hit Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, making big plays. So that's all. You always we'll run the ball with James Conner. We'll give that to you. So I'm gonna take that in fantasy. And they get to the goal line, they're gonna try to run the ball with James Conner and Kyler Murray. So I'm willing to play James Conner because of his value. James Conner is not chopped liver. You can't just they playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. No, I don't think there's another running back on the waivers that you can find. You make it go get a Zamir White if Josh Jacobs don't play, but I'm still not going to play him over James Conner. So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. All right. I see you, Travis. Yes, sir, bro. I see you. Pay that young man. Oh, buddy. Travis crazy. Yes, sir, Big Will. What's going on with you, bro? Big Will says, I feel like the tough matchup should bring the best out of players. Yes, sir. That's what I believe at this point in time. Now, early in the season, it could be different. But at this point in time, teams are trying to get into playoffs. That's why week 17 is a good time for fantasy football. You're not really worried about a lot of teams sitting there, guys. Great. I'm happy that Baltimore beat San Francisco, because if they would have beat San Francisco, San Francisco might not would have played their studs the whole game through Washington. And they still might not. If they beat Washington in 30 points, Debo then might sit out. Now, I just want to let y'all know about that. But I agree. I always wanted to ball when I played. Right. I agree with that, Big Will. I didn't know you played, bro. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Let's see how many likes we got in here. Yeah, 17 likes. Okay. Isaac says, yo, what's good, TD? What's good with you, bro? Nino, he said, let's get this chip. Yes, sir. Isaac says, it's chip season. Yes, sir, bro. Isaac says, DeMarcus Robinson been consistently good in the fourth quadrant. I agree. I'm going to play him over Deontay. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad. I don't got nothing to say about that. I understand why you're making that move. I understand why you're making that move, bro. I have nothing to say about that. I don't have nothing. I probably would play DeMarcus Robinson over Deontay too, just depending on what my team and how I built it. But I think that's a good move. Nino says, yeah, I don't blame you on that, Isaac. Any Steelers player I just can't trust. I don't either. I actually wanted to play. I'm playing Seattle defense this week. I got them in right now. I also got Baltimore and I got the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, listen, I like the Raiders. I'm nervous. I don't think it's a bad matchup. I'm just nervous. I'm going to be mad at myself if they give me 5 or 6 points because, it's the Raiders, right? I'm used to the Raiders crumbling. I like the Seattle Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mason Rudolph starting. All you got to do is shut down George Pickens, and I believe that Woolley, the young corner, the second-year corner, is a great matchup against George Pickens for their jump ball. He's one of the best jump ball corners in the league because he's like 6'3". He's almost the same size as George Pickens. And so I like that matchup. But I don't know. Right now I got the Las Vegas Raiders in. Isaac says, you never know between Pickett, Biscuits, or Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, where the ball going. I agree. I agree with that 100%. Rono, he says, incredible intro. Let's go. Thank you, bro. He do it all the time. YouTube. So I let him. I said, boy, now I'm gonna let him do it. He wouldn't get out the room, man. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna let you do that. Jordan says, best intro yet. Appreciate it, bro. He says, great dad, big dog. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Hey, I want my son to take over this one day. So I gotta get him to start watching a little bit more football with me, but I want him to do this one day. B Silver said, TD, that's the best intro. That was cutting edge. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Alisa says, TD, Mixon, Cooks, Connor, Kyrie Williams, pick 3, half PPR. Thanks again. I got you. Kyrie Williams. That's got to be Brandon Cooks, right? Because that can't be Dalvin Cooks or James Cook. Okay, James Cook. That's got to be. Is it Brandon Cooks or James Cook? I'm assuming that it's James Cook right now. Let me know, Lisa, if it's not James Cook. So I'm gonna say Kyle Williams, James Cook, and Connor over Mixon. I like the Chiefs defense this week also. especially with Jamar Chase being out again. James, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go with James Cook, Kyron Williams, and Connor over Mixon. Appreciate that, Johnny. Yes, sir, bro. Appreciate that. Way to spam the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, that's what I want you to do. Spam the chat with the 100 symbol. Put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. It helps the algorithm. Spam the chat with the 100 symbol. That's what we do here. Appreciate that, Isaac. Appreciate that, Ronald. Dean James Taylor says, I'm starting A-Chain over Barkley this week. Woo, that's cutting edge. Think that the LA Rams are going to dominate. I have Swift and Singletary starting too. Bro, this is what I'm going to say. And listen, you make sure you come and tell me, say, TD, I told you, or TD, maybe it didn't go the way I planned. But I need you to come back because if I'm wrong, I accept this. Bro, this is one that I'm like, hey, go down with your ship. I don't think there's no way you should be sitting Barkley for Singletary. You got to play, man. Barkley gonna play. Hey, he got Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor gonna move this ball down the field, bro. He like he's a veteran. Veterans he's not an old veteran either. And his body hasn't been beat up. Tyrod Taylor's gonna be okay for that team, man. I would start Barkley, man. Barkley is a great running back. I don't think it's a run defense that necessarily can stop him consistently. It might be a game or two that he might struggle, but usually, man, Barkley can ball out and he's catching passes. Bro, I wouldn't do that. That's just me though. Do what go down. Like I said, there's always you, and I know you know sports and you know football. I just wouldn't sit Barkley, but that's just me though. Isaac said Swift looking good again. Yes, well they use them. I mean, script changes. Now they starting to take. They was trying to take Swift away and make them beat them. Teams. They were trying to make the Eagles beat them with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown or Dallas Goedert. Now that Dallas Goedert is back and Devontae Smith is healthy and AJ Brown is still healthy, now it's back to what it was in the beginning of the season. That's the game. That's why I call it quadrants. It's like 4 things that a defense can do to you. I can take away one of your receivers. That's 1. I can take away both of your outside receivers. That's 2. I can take away your run game, or I can spy your quarterback. You can't do all of them. Now you can switch it up from play to play, but eventually they're going to catch you because they're going to be able to read what you in, and they didn't see it 2 or 3 times, and then they'll be able to adjust. That's the way I make my assessment through my cutting edge content. So I believe now that teams are playing and say, well, let Swift beat us again. And Swift, that's what he did. Civil Robinson says, Ramondre Stevenson IR. Thank you for letting me know that, brother. Did that just happen? I haven't seen that. So, guys, I'm not saying Zeke is top 12, but he is borderline top 24. And if you need to start a running back, that's a guy that I'm willing to play. I probably would want to start Devon A-Chain over him or DeAndre Swift, but I would start Zeke probably over Singletary. I probably would start Zeke over Singletary. I think this is going to be a tough game. I think Bailey Zappi is going to have a good game. Bailey Zappi is a sneaky start. I'm not telling anybody to start him, but he's sneaky. He's sneaky. I think he tasted some blood. Pause, right? I think he tasted some blood in the water. So that means that he's like a shark. He's going to try to ball out. I think he's found his rhythm. Ian Taylor said, TD, I'm in the final. Tough call. Flowers or Swift? That is tough. Brother, I need to see your whole team, but in a vacuum, because both of those guys are starting. And I had to go through that with a guy yesterday because this is a good time to talk about that. Both of these guys are stars on my team. I'm not benching any of those guys, but I got to be genuine to your team. You can't get both guys because you got studs other places. Against the Miami Dolphins, I'm going with Flowers. I think they need Flowers against the Miami Dolphins. So I think they're going to have to put up some points. That goes to Flowers. I don't like sitting a running back, but, Kenneth Gainwell does get opportunities too. But that's a tough one, man. I'm going to go with Flowers to break the ice between those two. but I think both of them are starts. I don't think you can go wrong, but I think Flowers got more upside with big plays. I think Swift is a little bit safer, probably. I don't know. He probably is a little bit safer. Full PPR, definitely. Half PPR, I might will go with Swift. Conscious Machine, what's up, bruh? Hey, bruh, you never got back on the text to let me know. Is everything okay now with YouTube? You ain't answering my question, bruh. Johnny says Gus or Todd Chandler. I'm going with Gus. I'm going with Gus right now. Listen, I love the matchup. Alexander Madison, but if I knew Alexander Madison was out, I would say Todd Chandler easy. Alexander Madison makes me nervous. I don't know if they don't make a game plan this week and say, listen, well, let's involve Alexander Madison more and slow the game down. That way it can help Nick Mullins or Josh Dobbs or whoever they start. I think they want to incorporate Alexander this week to slow the clock down, to give the defense something else to worry about. That's just my 2 cents on it. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. TZ, appreciate that, bro. Yes, sir. Yeah, get back with me, Conscious. Let me know, man. Before you get out of this live, let me know if YouTube is acting right. Because yesterday I know you were saying that it's deleting your questions or something. He says, how do you feel about Javonte with Stidham in? I like Javonte with Stidham in. I like Stidham. I'm not going to sit any of my quarterbacks for Stidham, but I do think Stidham will have a decent game. I think Stidham will be able to get the ball to Jerry Jeudy, or if Courtland Sutton is back, or even Marvin Mims. I think Marvin Mims will have a bigger role this week, especially with Russell Wilson going out. I think Marvin Mims will have a bigger role. I don't think Russell ever looked for Marvin. Big Will says, at this point, Dalton Kincaid has been phased out. Any suggestions for the waiver wire tight ends? Yes, I got some. Let me see here. Did I tear my sheet off? Tucker Kraft. I like Tucker Kraft. So I like Tucker Kraft. I like Darren Waller right now is got an injury, so I don't know about Darren Waller, man. He's so damn volatile, man. It's sickening. But Tucker Kraft. And Chigo Okonkwo. Tucker Kraft and Chigo Okonkwo. If Hunter Henry practices at least 2 or 3 times this week, I like Hunter Henry too. Ian says, I also got McBride and Laporta. Should I start both or pick one? It depends on what you got on your team, bro. I'm gonna have to see that team, man. I'm not gonna tell you just to start those 2 and you got other studs. I'm not gonna start a tight end over another stud guy. Now Laporta and McBride are studs, but Laporta is good. He's a touchdown guy. He's not like a guy who's gonna get 10 catches every single game. McBride is actually getting more catches than Laporta, but Laporta is scoring a lot more touchdowns. I don't want you to be dependent on a touchdown boom or bust guy. I believe Laporta is going to get targets, but they ain't trying to give it to him on 4th and goal. That's Amon-Ra. I think it's Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and everybody else. Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and everybody else. Nobody else is going to be consistent. I think Laporta just eat because they worried about Amon-Ra and they worried about Jahmyr and David. That's why Laporta eats. I don't think Laporta, you could put him on the Baltimore Ravens and he would go and be the number 1 tight end. I don't think now I think as time go on, he can, but I just don't think he's that type of alpha. I think he's just playing in a great offense right now, and he's hitting. So I like McBride slightly, but Laporta is a starter too. So it just depends on what you got on your bench, bro. You can start both of them, but it just depends on what your team looks like. Conscious says 18 likes now. Yes, sir. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Conscious says everyone needs to know to click that chat filter and click all messages. Yes, thank you, Conscious. Thank you. Guys, make sure you do that. Also, go to your notification bell and hit all. I don't know, guys. I might have to quit playing my intro, one of my intro songs. That might be why they kind of like doing funny stuff on my lives. So maybe I need to leave that song alone. I don't know. Maybe I have to get me a cleaner version or something. Conscious says, I realize that I don't see anyone comments until I change it every show on YouTube. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that, bro. Ronald says, which defense you starting? Raiders, Broncos, or Rams? I like the Rams are okay. Tyrod Taylor worries me. Tyrod Taylor could go out there and beat Matthew Stafford. I said what I said. So I'm gonna say no to the Rams. I think the Rams are solid, but I like Tyrod Taylor. The Broncos have a great matchup. They don't rush the passer as well. The Raiders has been balling out of their mind, but they playing against the Colts, who has a good offense. I'm gonna say the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Broncos today. I think the Broncos with the Chargers offense is kind of Rudy. It's kind of Rudy poo. Ronald says also Chig or Dalton Schultz, full PPR. So we got CJ back. I'm gonna go with CJ because of Tank Dell being out. I think not CJ, but Dalton Schultz. I think Dalton Schultz gets more targets when Tank Dell is out or Nico Collins is out. So I'm gonna go with slightly Dalton Schultz. I think he has more touchdown upside than Chigo. I think Chigo can get 6-7 catches or targets. I would say targets, maybe 4 catches, but I believe Dalton Schultz could have 4 or 5 catches with 1 touchdown. So I'm gonna go with Dalton Schultz. I think he has more touchdown upside. Duncan says, crazy to sit Amari Cooper and breach for guys like CH and Gabe Davis. I wouldn't do it. I'm not sitting Amari Cooper. But if you want to do it, I respect that because the matchup is tough. Pollard and Jordan Addison, if he even plays full PPR, I wouldn't sit Amari Cooper and breach all. I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't do it for CEH or Gabe Davis. Even CEH, even if he got the full backfield, I can't sit Amari Cooper. I can't sit breach all. They're gonna move Amari Cooper around. They're gonna feed him. They're not going to just give Amari Cooper where Sauce Gardner's at. They're going to move him in the slot. They're going to move him around. So I wouldn't sit Amari Cooper. And Breach Hall is going to be catching a lot of passes out the backfield. So in full PPR, that's still a good running back to play. He don't need a bunch of yards rushing in full PPR. And half PPR, I can understand you may be sitting him. But in full PPR, I'm not sitting Breach. And I would want to play Pollard too. Jordan Addison, Gabe Davis, and CH, they volatile. I could sit those guys if I needed to. Ronald said, "Do you like DeMarcus Robinson this week?" Yes, I do, but it just depends. It just depends. It just depends. And my homie with the philosophy, remember Occam Razor. Occam Razor. Yes, guys, keep it simple. Ignore the bull crap, all the other stuff, and this, and numbers, this, and that numbers, and that, this. Just play your studs. Don't sit Amari Cooper. Don't sit Saquon Barkley. That's just my opinion, though. Because you could go and do that, man. It might be a great move. Like, I respect everybody, but I could, there's no way you couldn't pay me. And even if I lost, I still thought I made the right decision. I'm not sitting Saquon Barkley. That's just me, though. Contra says Javonte or Pickens, who I played last week for Chase. I think you got to play Pickens. I think you got to, after he hit like that, man, I think you got to play him. I don't think you can sit Pickens. I would try to get Pickens and Javonte on the field. Especially against the Chargers run defense. Yes, I would try to play Pickens and Javonte. Yes, sir. Thank you, Conscious. Thank you, Ronald. Way to spam the chat, bro. I appreciate that. I see you, Conscious. I see you, Renzo. What's up going on with you, bro? I see you, Harambe. What's up, bro? I see you, Silver Rapture, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And Dylan says, A-Chain Hall, James Conner, pick 3. I'm going pick 3. Those are all 3 guys. I'm going to rank them for you. I'm going with Breach Hall, James Conner, and A-Chain. Breach Hall, James Conner, and A-Chain. So I'm going with Breach Hall and James Conner. Man, you know, I think you need to start A-Chain. I don't want to tell you to sit James Conner and Breach Hall. They're getting the full workload, bro. All the goal line opportunities. A-Chain ain't getting the full workload. He's just getting manufactured nice plays, splash plays. And those can be boom plays because A-Chain fast like that. I would say I'm going to still go with Breach Hall and James Conner. And I think you need to try to get A-Chain in your lineup. Ian Taylor, appreciate you, bro. Big Silver in the house. He said, how about those Chargers defense versus the Broncos Stidham? Nah. I can't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm not playing the Broncos defense. I mean, the Chargers defense. I play the Broncos defense, but not the Chargers defense. Isaac says, A-Chain is a lottery ticket. No more, no less. He is. I agree with that. And if I'm broke, I don't mind scratching a lottery ticket for the right price. If I'm broke, I don't mind scratching a lottery ticket for the right price. Dean James says, who you sitting, TD? Singletary, Swift, A-Chain, or Barkley? So one guy who I'm sitting Singletary. And I'm playing Swift, Barkley, and A-Chain. I know Singletary got off against Tennessee, and he starters on some teams, but on your team, he can't start over Barkley. A-Chain got more boom. If you want something safer than A-Chain, you can sit A-Chain. He's like Isaac said, he's a lottery ticket. So if you don't want to say, well, I don't want to sacrifice 4 points in my lineup. I know Swift, Singletary, and Barkley gonna both give you more than 4 points. All of them, they're gonna give you at least 8 to 10 points. A-Chain could give you 4 points, but he also could give you 34 points. So that's why I'm telling you, I would sit Singletary and be willing to take whatever A-Chain give me. That's how I feel. But if you don't feel that way, I respect that. Silver says, just seeing it on Sleeper app. Okay. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Conscious Machine says Mullins. I don't know if Mullins is going to be the starter or not. I think he's an okay starter. I don't know if they bench him. If he throw 3 picks, he might be balling in fantasy, but he might get benched. That makes me nervous. Appreciate the TZ. Yes, sir. Conscious says, I don't know what question you had for me. I left the show early last show. Maybe you asked then. It's about my PayPal and Google, YouTube. Then there is no fix. Right. That's what it was. I just wanted to know what was going on because my girl said she wasn't getting notifications when I was going live. So that makes me nervous when other people's not getting it. I want to make adjustments because I can't have lives and people not getting notifications. That's all, bro. Aaron says A-Chain Flowers or Zamir White. I'm going with Zay slightly over A-Chain. Even if Zamir got the full gamut, even if Josh Jacobs is out. If Josh Jacobs is out, I would say Flowers, Zamir, A-Chain as a floor. They both like Zamir floor is way better than A-Chain's. But from the boom, I'm going with Flowers, A-Chain, and Zamir White. But if Zamir White is getting a full workload with no Josh Jacobs playing, if you wanted to play Zamir White over both of them, I wouldn't say anything. Me, I'm playing Flowers. I'm kind of biased because I play in PPR leagues, so I have to start Flowers. But Zamir White would be a start. I would have to probably make him a top 14 running back. I wouldn't put him in top 12, but I would make him a top 14 running back, maybe top 16. Appreciate that, Aaron. Appreciate that, guys. Let's see how many likes we got. We got 30 likes. That's what I'm talking about. And Conscious says, oh, yeah, YouTube sent me reports on my comments being removed somewhere, and it didn't say what I said. Crazy. I'm usually pretty polite. Right. YouTube crazy, bro. Harami says, we feeling safe with the Bills defense at home. Also have Baltimore. I wouldn't listen. I think Baltimore could come and hold Miami to 14 points. Am I really to put my money where my mouth is at? No, I'm not. I'm saying that, but I wouldn't put my money where my mouth is at. I wouldn't play Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to do fine, but I'm not willing to put them in. I would play the Bills defense against the New England Patriots. It could be a 17-14 game. They match up good against Josh Allen the last couple of years, like last year, including this year. B. Silver says they said that Musgrave is back practicing again today. Okay, so go off of Tucker Craft and move on to Chigo and Hunter Henry. Thank you for letting me know about that, B. Silver. And guys, I will be doing a show too, a straight news show where I'm just going to talk about all the news that's going on and maybe break some things down. But it's going to be basically a news show where I'm just talking about who's active, who ain't active, the weather, whatever's going on. Russell Wilson getting benched, all of that. I'm gonna talk about all that. But right now, I wanted to talk about these 10 running backs, and I didn't want to make it to be a long show talking about everything. Conscious says they threatened that they could remove me also. Maybe someone scoring with me of my fantasy glory. Yeah, that's weird. Usually they're good about that. Just make sure you send an explanation in. I have Kraft, but grab Jerron. Okay, as a backup. Okay. Jerron for Hawk, TD. I like Jerron. I do like Jerron. He was one of my waiver wire additions this week. I like Chigo a little bit more than him. So many when you got Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed and Alvin Kamara, it makes me nervous about how many targets Jerron can get. But he is the guy that they look for in the red zone. So that maybe could give him a little bit of an uptick. Johnny says pick 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex. So I got 5. The 2 running backs I'm going to pick is CMC and Gus. Slightly. Okay, well, I'm just going to do CMC and Gus. 2 wide receivers are going to be Pittman and Nico. And 1 flex is going to be Keenan Allen over Pollard. So you're going to have to try for your flex, you're going to have to choose between Keenan Allen and Pollard. I like Keenan Allen because Detroit is a great run defense. Great run defense. Ian Taylor says the other relevant players on the team are Swift and Flowers, Laporta and McBride. Okay. So I do believe you got to. So it basically you got to be able to. Are you going to play Laporta and McBride over Flowers or Swift? So I basically got to choose between Swift and Flowers if you're going to play Laporta and McBride. This is saucy, and I could be wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know exactly how this, because I'm just going with my gut right here. I'm gonna go with Swift, Flowers, and McBride, and leave Laporta out because he's so touchdown dependent. Where in full PPR, McBride's gonna get 8 to 10 targets. Swift is gonna carry the ball at least 10 to 15 times. I would say 15, and Flowers is going to get 8 to 9 targets. So all those guys are going to be out targeting Laporta. Well, Laporta always get like 5 or 6 targets with 2 touchdowns. He don't never get like 10 targets. I don't think they're going to attack the Dallas defense with Laporta. I think they're going to attack the Dallas defense with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's how they're going to attack. I don't think they're going to attack with Laporta. I could be wrong. He could get some residuals, right? Deal, what's up, bro? He says, Breach Hall, 30 point, 40 point. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm playing him. Conscience says, TD is right. When Goff needs Laporta, he is dependable. Right, when he needs them. I'm just not willing to play him as like a hyper target guy over McBride. I feel like McBride is going to get more targets. Aaron says Broncos D didn't perform against the Pats at home last week. They actually played well. They played well. I thought the Broncos D did perform. I just think that the Pats had a couple scores here and there that made them score over 14 points. I thought the Broncos performed well. Big Will says, thanks for always answering my questions, bro. I got to head out. Appreciate you, TD. It's the cheat code. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. TD is the cheat code. Appreciate you. Ronald says, Demario Douglas or DeMarcus Robinson? I'm going with Demario Douglas. I think DeMarcus Robinson has more touchdown upside than Demario, but Demario has touchdown upside, not as much as DeMarcus, but he also he's a PPR monster. So I think he's going to get more targets than DeMarcus. What teams are playing them, they taking away Puka and Cooper Kupp and saying, beat me, DeMarcus. And DeMarcus is getting touchdowns that way. And he's looking for DeMarcus. DeMarcus he's beat out Tutu Atwell later in the season. I love Tutu. Tutu got me to a couple, like he got me some good records, but in the last 8 weeks, he hasn't been doing anything. It's been all about DeMarcus and Cooper Kupp and Puka and Kyron Williams. So I like Demario slightly in full PPR over DeMarcus Robinson. He says Pop Douglas does a great job at separating from defenders to make that deep play. and to make the short area plays too, which is good in PPR leagues. So I agree with that. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Let's see how many likes we got. 34. Let's go for 40. 40 likes, 50 likes. Conscience says, I have to play Javonte and Pickens if Jamar stays out. Right. And I don't blame you. I think those are great plays this week. Sometimes by you having a stud out makes your team better. I like playing guys like Javonte and Pickens. The reason why Javonte is the starting running back, he's getting all the goal line carries. You don't have no running Russell Wilson out there. Pickens is the alpha. He balled out. They know he can play. They've been knowing he can play, but he balled out and showed them. So now they want to make sure they hyper target him. So I like Pickens. I do believe that I don't think he's going to go for that many points. I do think he might go for 15 points, but that's good in a championship. I believe he has a tough matchup corner, but that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be started. Sometimes you got to understand that. The defenses are a little bit different, but sometimes you got to play players that got tough matchups. DeAndre, what's going on with you, bro? He said, what's good, bro? Should I start Amari or T. Higgins in my flex? I think you got to go with Amari. I think you got to go with Amari. Okay, well, we did that one already. Conscious Machine says Mullins could get benched. I see that. Yes, he could get benched. That makes me a little bit nervous. B Silver says, you question Mullins a bit. Would you rather start Carr versus the Bucks? Yes, I would. Now at this point in time, because if he throw a couple picks, they're going to take him out. I'd probably rather start Carr against the Bucks now. Conscious says, should I get Flacco? I have the Browns D also. It could be raining, and the Jets D is number one against quarterbacks. Right. It just depends on what you got, Conscious. If you got somebody else that's better than Flacco to play him, but if you have to play Flacco because you scared of Mullins, then you do that. But right now, I'm going to tell you to stick with, I know Flacco's not going to get benched. That's what I'll say. So I would say Flacco, but try to find, if you got a better, I wouldn't play Jared Stidham over Flacco. I would play Flacco over Jared Stidham. Who should I start for PPR? Love the intro. Thank you, bro. Have a question. Who should I start for PPR? Breachall, Kamara, CH, Swift, JT channel. Now listen, I'm going to start off with this. All those guys are starters. So right now, what you asking me to do is to pick, and I want people to give, I'm giving context, and I'm going to give it to you because I understand we have to make these decisions. But what you asking me to do is, who should I pick between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase? Because those guys are both starters, right? So when I see Hall, Kamara, JT, Swift, all those guys are starters. But let me give you one. Who should you start? I'm going with Kamara. All those guys are starters, but I'm going with Kamara. Duncan says, Breach, B. John on most at sit one. I'm going to say Mostert. And that's hard. All those guys are starters, but I'm going to go with Mostert. Sit Mostert. Charlene says, monitoring Hubbard this week. He has a hammy injury and limited in practice today. I saw that. What makes me feel good about him that he's limited. So I still like him because he's limited. If that hamstring was out, he would definitely be out. Harambe says, okay, TD, pick a kicker. Matt Gay, Furbaum, or Vikings, Packers kicker to close it out on Sunday night. I would go with the Vikings kicker. I would go with Greg, the Vikings kicker. Conscious says, so should I drop Mullins? I agree. Quarterbacks available are Flacco, Rudolph, Stidham, Young, Taylor. I think I'm going down with the ship with Flacco. Young got a decent matchup, but there's no way you can trust him. Young got a good matchup, but there's no way you can trust him. Hold on, guys. Let me I'm gonna go outside the stream and I'm gonna be right back. It's lagging. So let me go out and I'll be right back. Okay. Hopefully that might help a little bit. I will go down with the ship with Flacco. I can't trust none of those other quarterbacks. Tua, he says 4 PPR, pick one. Waller, Chigo, Tucker Craft, Hunter Henry, Logan, Jawan Johnson, and Sutton or JSN at the flex. I'm going with JSN over Sutton. I don't know if Sutton is going to be able to make it out of the concussion protocol. So I'm going with JSN. And then I'm going to choose Chigo because of Musgrave practicing over Tucker Craft. So I'm going with Chigo and JSN. Conte says, how about Bryce Young against those? I think that might be a good play, but you got to be willing to go down with that ship. I think the matchup is good to go with that. If you think Flacco's going to play bad, but no matter what, Flacco's going to throw that ball. Now, if the weather's bad, I can understand it, but Flacco's going to throw the ball at least 35, 40 times. So that's the only, I don't think Bryce Young is going to throw the ball that much. Conscious says, hit that like button. Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 36 likes. Let's get to 40. Big Will says, thanks. Okay, we did that one already. Ian says, good tight end analysis on McBride and Laporta. Thanks. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Leo says, Spears or Jalen Warren. I'm going with Jalen Warren all day. Ronald says, you still feel good about Singletary with CJ back? Yes, depending on what you got. Now, if you got, it just depends on what your what other players you have at that position to play. But if you had to start Singletary, I wouldn't feel bad about it. I would feel okay. I think he's an okay start. Let me know who you choosing between Singletary and who else. Isaac says, Pickens said he's keeping receipts. He is. Hey, that's how athletes are. They always keep receipts. Brando said, what's up, my man? Love or Flacco this week? I'm going with Love. Hopefully Christian Watson plays. He needs some weapons. If he don't got no weapons, if he ain't got no Dontavius Wicks or no Christian Watson, and all he got is Romeo Doubs, no Jaden Reed, then I will be a little bit nervous. But if he got Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs and maybe Wicks or Christian Watson, I'm okay with playing Love. Love is a beast. Love is a top 5 quarterback right now as far as trajectory in the NFL. He's outplaying CJ Stroud right now. So as young quarterbacks, I say the Love might be a little bit past CJ. Isaac says, where was his receipts all season? The quarterbacks wasn't printing out the receipts for him. He feel like they wasn't giving him the ball. And I can agree with most of that. Brando, he says, I got 2 injuries I got to watch this week, Pittman and Pacheco. If those 2 are out, would you start Mixon and Pollard or McBride in their place? I would start McBride over Pollard and Mixon. Reason why Pollard got a tough matchup. Pollard's going against the Detroit Lions, who's the number 2 run defense in the NFL. Mixon is going against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are top 10 run defense. So I will go with McBride, who's getting 8 to 10 targets as a tight end. And I'm willing to go down with this show. Yeah, I'm playing Singletary over those guys. Ronald said Singletary or Tyler Boyd or DeMarcus Robinson. I'm playing Singletary over Tyler Boyd and DeMarcus Robinson. Brando says, I have Palmer as well, but I don't know about him. Nah, you got the guys right, guys. I will go with McBride in that instance. Dirtboard, there you go. He said, what's good, bruh? Breach, CEH, A-Chain, JT, or K9? I'm going with Breach. I'm going to rank them. Okay, pick 2. I'm going with Breach. I'm going with Breach and JT. I'm going with Breach and JT. Now, listen, I can't. It's between A-Chain and JT, man. JT's going to get a lot more opportunities than A-Chain. So that's why I want to go with JT. But I believe A-Chain got a better matchup against the Cowboys. I believe the Raiders' run defense is better than the Cowboys' run defense right now. So I'm going to go with Breach and JT. Now, listen, would I be surprised if CEH and A-Chain outscore both Breach and JT? No, I wouldn't. But who in the hell going to do that on their fantasy football championship? Bench, Breach, and JT for CEH and A-Chain. That's cutting edge content, but that's not I can't do that. I can't tell you to do that, brother. I can't cash that check. But I'm gonna go with Breach and JT because those guys are going to get 20 touches apiece. Isaac says Purdy going to play hard this week. Watch. I like how he took accountability. Me too. It don't matter. I don't like I said, he didn't have a great game, but he didn't play bad. He played against the Baltimore Ravens. I just don't see how he played bad. He didn't overthrow people or nothing. Those guys, you played against a great team. They was getting to him. They jumping up and pushing his balls in the air. He wasn't throwing directly to guys. Now, after he had took a couple sacks, the guys were just covered. I thought Purdy had a good game, and I thought it was just the Baltimore Ravens who derailed him. Ronald says, bet I feel complete for the championship run this weekend. Appreciate you heavily, OG. About to get this bread. Yes, sir. Arambi says, give this man all the likes. He's killing it. Thank you, Arambi. Anytime, bro. Anytime. 38 likes. Let's get 40 likes, guys. Let's get 40. Isaac says he was facing forcing balls in the late. Yeah, that was late. That's when the game was kind of out of control. I still see the game different. I thought Purdy played well. That first drive, Freddie was he outplayed Lamar in the first quarter. I don't care what anybody say. He outplayed Lamar Jackson. And in the beginning of the second quarter. The late second quarter, Lamar started outplaying them because Baltimore started blitzing them with 6'4" guys like Kyle Hamilton who can knock the ball down. Roquan Smith, 6'2". These guys that was pushing the ball up in the air and they was taking away the short yak. That's why I like Baltimore. Baltimore is a bad matchup for San Francisco, not other teams. I see you, Cuzzo. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Y'all be safe. I'm gonna try to do a live later. I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do the news one or if I'm gonna do 10 wide receivers who you should be starting. As it says, plus guys were dropping passes. Yeah, they dropped a few passes too. But I just thought Purdy was looking good, man. That first drive, he was killing it. He was ready. But then they changed up the Baltimore, what they does best. They started doing it. Anytime, Conscious. Anytime. Anytime. All right, guys. Y'all be safe. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I will be doing probably a top 10. Start these top 10 wide receivers. Or not top 10, but start these 10 wide receivers. Yep. Later. See you later, Silver. Yep. See you later, Isaac. He said, forcing balls on the lake can surprise a lady. Pause. I feel you, bro. Yeah, pause. Yeah. All right, guys, y'all be safe. See y'all later.
On camouflage, gotta keep a foot up on their necks cause they might sabotage. I ain't come for peace, I brought the mask, about to terrorize. Step. If you ain't hating, nigga, keep that bullshit to yourself. Get my bop on you niggas. Don't never question if I'm a real nigga. I get a lot for you niggas. Bitch, they thought I was finished, but I got a lot for you niggas. Lil John on them niggas. I'm the bra on them niggas. I'm the hottest in the business. Okay, put me in the mix. I can tell you used to lame niggas that ain't this. Think you coming up a